Welcome to Roofing Road Trips, the podcast that takes you on a thrilling journey across the world of roofing. From fascinating interviews with roofing experts to on-the-road adventures, we'll uncover the stories, innovations, and challenges that shape the rooftops over our heads. So fasten your seatbelts and join us as we embark on this exciting roofing road trip.
Welcome to another Roofing Road Trips from Roofer's Coffee Shop. This is Heidi Ellsworth, and today we're going to talk about sales, one of my favorite things. I love talking about sales, and I love it even more when I can talk to another woman in roofing about sales, because that's not always been the case with us women in roofing really being involved in sales. So we got a hold of Desiree Huff from Tremco, who has had an amazing career, and we just wanted to talk a little bit about her career, sales and roofing, and doing at Tremco. So Desiree, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me, Heidi. I really appreciate it.
I love this. I love these conversations. But first of all, let's start out with an introduction. Can you tell everybody who you are, what you do at Tremco, a little bit about your job?
Sure. I am Desiree Huff. I work for Tremco. I'm the regional sales manager for the Pacific Southwest region, which covers California and Nevada. And I've been in this position since September. And before that, I worked in the Pacific Northwest region, which covered 9 states in the Pacific Northwest. And in both regions, I've worked for excellent teams, and I'm just really thankful to be a part of the Tremco family.
Yeah. So tell us just to kind of get started, tell us a little bit about, what's your sales job as regional manager look like on a day-to-day basis, and kind of, what are you talking to your customers about when it comes to Tremco and WTI?
Yeah, so gosh, every single day is so different as a regional sales manager, which I love. I love the variety. I love learning something new every day. I love working with the sales team. The sales team is just, they're amazing. And so I view my job as a regional manager as doing whatever I can to make those reps succeed. Whatever I can do to alleviate a burden, alleviate paperwork, provide additional support staff, um, maybe just be a listening ear sometimes, or providing some feedback. Anything I can do to help them succeed while reaching our corporate goals is my goal. And
Yeah.
they are just amazing people to work with, and make my job really fun and interesting. And there's tough times too, but I just really appreciate the opportunity to work with them. It's been amazing.
I love that. That's how I felt. I was a regional sales manager too, and it was so fun. I loved all the people in the field. Tell everybody a little bit about Tremco and WTI, and what are some of the services
Yeah,
that you bring to your customers?
perfect. So Tremco is a commercial roofing product manufacturer, and we specialize in the fluid applied systems. But we also provide single ply systems, built up roofing systems, metal systems, safety. We do a lot. If there's something that your roof needs, we can get it done for you. And then with WTI, or Weatherproofing Technologies Incorporated, we have kind of 2 different areas of expertise. We have our general services arm. So we have actually field technicians who are out completing patch and repair, or they are doing warranty inspections for us, or final inspections, making sure that roofs are tight and waterproof. And then we also have our general contracting arm, where that we can work with other roofing contractors. We can sub them underneath of our contract to provide a turnkey solution for customers.
Wow, that's great. I mean, it's so important because you bring the whole package, which is, premium products, premium installation, premium service afterwards. That kind of from a sales perspective, how does that feel to be able, you got to really believe in what you're selling to be a great salesperson. And it sounds like you do. Talk
Absolutely.
a little bit about that.
I do. I think for customers, when you see how much it takes to procure projects, when you see how much it takes to go through the contract, process and everything like that, anything that we can do to alleviate that, by providing, a one-stop shop, or just one contract where that they can get all of their, building envelope needs completed. I feel really good that we can provide that to our customers and just make it a little bit
Yeah.
easier on them, and and just work with them as closely as we can.
Yeah. I love that. So you and a couple other women are really blazing a path in the sales area of Tremco and WTI. You have tell us just a little bit more about how you started in
Mhm.
sales in the Pacific Northwest, and then that move into a regional manager into the Pacific Southwest.
Sure. So I started, I've been at Tremco for almost 8 years. I started as an administrative assistant, and I worked very closely with a sales rep in the Pacific Northwest region. Thankfully, I had the opportunity to kind of be exposed to not just the administrative side, but the sales side also, with several different reps in the region. I was involved in pre-cons and sales calls and, inspections, roofing inspections, or just customer meetings. They would pull me in for presentation. So I just had a lot of exposure to a lot of different areas of roofing, which was great. I met with design professionals and roofing contractors and cooperative purchasing contacts, just everybody. And I learned a lot. And then I also Tremco has a program where that you can get your tuition reimbursed once you've been there for a certain amount of time. And so I decided to take advantage of that. I have my bachelor's degree in social and behavioral sciences, and then I decided to go for my master's in business with a focus in construction management. And so I applied for that program, and I was accepted and finished that program, and I learned so much, and it just kind of brought a lot of the areas of the business together for me. And I was
Yeah.
very thankful for Tremco to, you know, I really appreciate when a company invests in their employees, and I feel like that's what Tremco does. They invested in me, in my education. They've provided career opportunities for me. So I feel like it's worth it for me to work hard for a company like Tremco. And I'm just thankful for the opportunity of higher education, and then that kind of opened up some additional doors. I was I worked as a regional administrator in the Pacific Northwest, and then a strategic business manager. And then last summer, I was approached about becoming a regional sales manager in the Pacific Southwest region. So it's been quite a journey that I was never expecting, but just very thankful and blessed for the investment that Tremco has put in me.
Well, and Tremco and WTI were founding members of National Women in Roofing. They have been very, very active. Currently, the president of Tremco Roofing is Krista Nat, who is just amazing. The first woman president and the US president of Tremco. And we're going to be having another podcast with her to kind of talk about that. But
Awesome.
how does, I would love to talk just a little bit about things have changed so much in the roofing industry when it comes to women. And I've really seen it a lot in the last 10 years, definitely, but it's been steady growth. Right now, opportunities in roofing for women are just amazing. What are you seeing, Desiree?
Yes, I'm seeing the same thing, and I'm really thankful for the women that we have in leadership. It's nice to have kind of mentors in the company and in the industry. It is so male dominated. We do have struggles to overcome, but I think it's it's worth it. We're better together. We can provide different. It seems like men and women have different perspectives that we can offer, and so it's nice when we can all come together and look at it from a broader perspective instead of just one point of view only, if that
Yeah,
makes
you
sense.
know what? That is so true. And studies are showing left and right that when the balance creates success, that when you have a balance not just of the genders but of also of all different types of thinking, thought
Mhm.
leadership, backgrounds, culture, diversity, and
Exactly.
I that's one of the things I've loved about Tremco is when you go to Tremco, you see diversity, a lot of it, and celebrated, and so it creates this way of thinking, this thought leadership that creates success, like we see through the sales of Tremco and what you're doing. So okay, I'm gonna get back to on course here. I just love talking about all this stuff, but um let's talk a little bit about roofing sales. So like I said, I did sales. I was a regional manager for the Western States. Loved it. And what do you love about being a salesperson?
I think Heidi, I there's a lot of things. There's so many things. I love being able to drive through towns and be like, oh, we did that roof, or I've been on that roof, or something like that. And also, I have
Yeah.
two kids, so I have a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, and they are very involved in sports and they're very involved in their schools. And so every weekend, I think we're in a different school or we're in a different athletic center. And I love knowing that companies like Tremco help to create safe, dry environments for my kids to learn, for my kids to play, and other people in the community can have a safe place to gather. And especially in Oregon, where we have so much rain, we kind of value a dry area maybe more than other places. But just knowing that it's not just a roof, but I look at it as it's a safe place for kids to learn. A healthy environment creates a better learning environment, or for hospitals, a better place for people to heal. I really appreciate looking at the whole picture of it and how that the little piece that I do and how that impacts the community as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. I think about sales, and there's the excitement of sales, right? I mean, for people who like sales, there's a lot of excitement of closing a deal, of prospecting, of seeing the opportunities. But really, you're right. At the end of the day, it's all about what value did I bring to that customer by helping them on this customer journey. And now the value is safe children, safe patients, safe everything. I love that. I think about that the same way. That is cool. Um, as you did, sorry, I'm going to go back on this because it's just you
Mhm.
kind of brought this up. But when you were earlier in your career, did you ever think that you wanted to be in sales?
Um, I've always maybe I appreciate it from like a supportive view. I've always been like in the supportive view. I've had a couple other jobs where I worked in sales lightly, not a ton. Um, and I think sales reps have a very difficult job. And yes, I love it. I love being there to support them and doing whatever I can to, take each customer a little bit further down the path. And I
Right.
never thought that I would be in sales myself, but I love it. And I love the excitement. I love it. I love the learning from the failures. I love, sharpening your skills to be better every single time that you go out the door. I love every piece of it.
That's so funny because when you talk to a lot of people and you say, "Did you plan on being in roofing?" Most people say no. And a lot of people, if you ask, "Did you plan on being on sales?" They say no.
Right. It's true.
It's
It's
something you
very true.
kind of grow into.
Right, right. When I first started, somebody asked me the same thing. Did you ever think that you would be in roofing? And I was like, no, I never considered it. And they're like, well, everybody needs a roof. And I was like, that's a very good perspective.
That is so true. We hear that all the time.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the solutions that you bring from Tremco
Mhm.
to your customers, to those hospitals, to those schools. Um, what are some of your top products right now that are really kind of hitting that sweet spot in the market of what people are looking for?
Mhm. I think one of the things that we provide to our customers is asset management, and changing the mindset of just looking at each roof individually and looking at their portfolio of roofs as a whole, and seeing what we can do to help them develop an asset management plan, so that we go in and we assess their roof systems, we categorize them as, maintain, replace, or restore. And then if we can get to the roof systems early enough before they reach the point of failure, then we provide our restoration solutions. Um, we have a lot of different fluid applied systems. We have our AquaGuard Bio. We have our new um, FCLO, which is our Puma, but it's a low odor option. So we're able to provide those restoration systems in more sensitive environments that might have odor concerns. So we can help with those issues. We also just recently acquired an HVAC restoration company, so, Pure Air
Yeah.
Controls, so that we can provide restoration solutions for their HVAC systems, which now that I'm kind of like learning more about HVAC and looking for those systems more than I previously was, I can, when I'm accessing roofs and um, going through the building, and you can see how difficult it would be to replace those systems when they're indoors. And so now we're able to offer a solution where that we can restore them without having to worry about all of the logistics of shutting down part of the building and getting a crane and removing the HVAC system. And it's just, that's one of the new things that we can provide.
That's so cool. I could, Desiree, speaking of Portland, Oregon, I can remember my first job out of college was at a high school, Jesuit high school. And I was sitting in my office, and all of a sudden I'm like, what is that smell? And they were, putting down roofing. They were redoing our roof, and it was tar and it was asphalt and it was kettles. And not that that's bad, it has its place. But when you think about today, and what you can do, I'm so happy you brought up that FCLO, because that is just a phenomenal product for restoration with no smell, and that is making a huge difference. I think, schools,
Hmm.
hospitals. So let's talk about that just a little bit. When it comes to K through 12 cells, what do you focus on, and what are the things that are really important for the schools to have a really good solution long term?
Hmm. I think again with the asset management plan and we offered Tremcare, which is we go out and we do the assessment of all the roofs and we put them into our online system so that the facility manager has access and they can see um, the status of each of their roofs and kind of budget for what's needed for maybe next year or the next 5 years as far as restoration or replacements or maintenance. And with our trim care program, we have um, different inspections that we can do, once or twice a year um, to reevaluate the roof and then complete any minor repairs that need to be done as well. I think that's really helpful for a school district when they have so many different buildings and roof levels to maintain. Additionally, we also offer the safety solution. So we have guardrails or hatch guards or crossovers, anything like that to bring the roofs up to OSHA compliance.
I hadn't even thought about that. All your safety barriers and that you offer and install that are long-term permanent solutions. How important are those on schools? I mean, that's
Yeah,
really,
so important.
it's important everywhere.
It's so important. Right, right. I was surprised. I did just a simple Google search to see how many kids, because kids are at schools all the time, not just during school hours. They're playing on the playgrounds,
Yeah.
they're accidentally kicking balls up on the roof, and so many times somehow a child is accessing a roof. And if you don't have the proper safety installed, it's so easy for somebody to fall off or to fall through a skylight. And it's just heartbreaking to see those when those news reports come out. And so it's important for us to do whatever we can to prevent that from happening.
Yeah. I love it. And really, when you're looking at on the roof restoration too, it's the fact that it really is part of an environmental long-term solution for these schools too, so that they can go back and say, look, it's not going into the landfill. We are a long-term environmental. I think that isn't always talked about enough, but is definitely becoming a key topic as we're moving forward.
Yes, exactly. We have somebody in our corporate office who is amazing at providing the actual data of how much waste is diverted on each project that we're able to restore. And it's not just the restoration that we do at this time. Um, we do a restoration now and then we can put like a 20 or 30-year warranty on it. And so then it's at that point, it's another waste diversion then also because we're able to just restore the roof again, and hopefully just keep on doing it for the life of the roof system. And yeah, it's incredible the environmental impact that that has.
And I think it's really interesting because I know you live in Portland, but yet you're have California and Nevada. How different is the sell to schools in California and Nevada compared to the sell in the Pacific Northwest? I mean, I know weather plays a part of that.
Yes, for sure. It's a lot different, and I think a huge piece of that is the procurement options too. Um, and I'm still learning a lot about how we do it in California because I'm more familiar with how we've done it in the Pacific Northwest. But I think the procurement is a huge piece of how we can help our clients. And we have, different cooperative purchasing agents that we're under contract with. And we're just able to provide the turnkey solution, or we can do material only, and then we can bid out the labor. There's just a lot of different things that we can provide to help K through 12 customers.
Yeah. And energy and insulation, I know, is a big difference in California now too. And the just the building codes, that makes
Yes,
a big difference. But you have those solutions also.
correct. Yes, we do. And it's,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of extra things to learn in California, and they're a little bit more stricter than the states that I worked in before. But thankfully, our sales team, they are experts and amazing at providing the solutions for every customer.
I love it. I love it. That is so great. So okay, one last question before we kind of get to how everybody can get involved. But as you're working with the sales teams, I know when I was regional manager, I had a lot of amazing manufacturers reps who I worked with who really taught me a lot. I would love your experience as you're working, you just said it, working with the sales team down in California and Nevada now as a regional manager. How has that been just in camaraderie and also this amazing opportunity to be mentored and to learn from people on the ground? I found that as a huge thing for me.
Yes, it's been amazing. In the Pacific Southwest region, we have so many reps who have been at Tremco for a long time, decades. I just had one rep, I received his 20-year anniversary email today, which is incredible. So
Wow.
they've been here for a long time, and they provide so much expertise, and they're also so willing to mentor the younger reps coming into the company who are just building their business. And it's just incredible to see the success of the younger reps because of the investment made by the more experienced reps. It's an incredible team down here, and they each go out there and work hard every single day, and it makes a difference.
I love it. So for the contractors out there listening to this, and they want to get involved with Tremco, what is your advice? How can contractors who are currently not involved with Tremco get involved?
Yes, I would say to reach out to their local sales representative. If they don't know who that is, feel free to reach out to me, and I can get them in touch with the local person. And then we have an approval process we go through, and then we also have additional product training to make sure that they're prepared to install our products on the roof, and we can even offer additional support as they're kicking off a project to make sure that they know how to start each project and how to most effectively apply our product.
Well, I can tell you, I know a contractor out of Sacramento, Mountain Roofing, who loves Tremco and does amazing work. So I got to give a shout out to Christian. And for anybody in the Western States who doesn't know them, he's another one to talk to because amazing roofing company. But that's the thing that I love so much about what you do is it's just such a great combination of working with contractors and also with WTI and just finding the right solutions for that customer and for their journey. So, Desiree, wow, what a great conversation. I loved it. And congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, well, we're going to be watching. I'm excited to see how everything goes, and we'll have you back again. We'll talk more about sales and roofing overall. I mean, because it is Roofing Road Trips. So there we go. For everybody who's watching, please check out the Tremco and WTI directories on Roofers Coffee Shop. You can find Desiree there. You can find the websites where you can find your local sales rep. This is something to really check out. It is an amazing products, systems, and organization overall. So be sure to check that out. Also, check out all of our podcasts under the Roofing Road Trips navigation, and be sure to subscribe and set those notifications on your favorite podcast channel. Ray, one more time, I want to say thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
And we'll see all of you again on Roofing Road Trips.
If you've enjoyed the ride, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us on every roofing adventure. Make sure to visit rooferscoffeeshop.com to learn more. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next Roofing Road Trip.